Banking Department. Licensed debt management service provider, Maryland 149. Licensed by Vermont Department of Banking, Insurance, Securities, and Healthcare Administration. Oregon registration number DM80031.
Strike up the music, the band has begun. Boom, 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 boom. The Pennsylvania Polka.
Ladies and gentlemen, Groundhog Day today. And the CRN Orchestra has studied overnight some new charts that they're busting some notes and tunes here for you on the What's Cooking program. I'm Michael Horn along with Paul Stern, Eric Hines, and Eric Joseph. Eric, the E squared as they like to call themselves, and they are square, ladies and gentlemen, doing a fine polka dance for you right now. All right, welcome back here to the show. So, by the way, when Larry Manetti talks about his, those of you that have heard that commercial that we play about the naughty things that went on Magnum PI, what kind of naughty things actually went on Magnum PI?
I'd sure like to know.
It's terrible stuff over there. And we want to apologize to those of you that read our blogs at crntalk.com/what's cooking. Ted Broer was supposed to be a guest on our show today. We're inviting you all to get a picture off our blog of Ted Broer, attach it to a stick, and carry it with you at all times today as we put Ted Broer on a stick, the nutritionalist who is not with us. Instead, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have, do we have our excellent guest, the guy that we love?
Ted Broer on a stick!
Ted Broer on a stick is no longer going to be scheduled on the show.
There they go. He goes into the What's Cooking infamy. Hall
Have
of
we
Fame.
found Tobin James yet?
Hey, we do have Tobin James.
Tobin
Hey,
James is
talking
the
about
winemaker
Tobin
of-
James.
Yes,
Did
tell me
it come
about
as a pleasant surprise the other day when we had Chris Toronto?
Yesterday, Chris Toronto was on.
from Paso Robles. What is it?
Paso Wine Alliance.
Yeah, exactly. And when he told us that Tobin was being honored as what is it, the person of the year.
Yeah, great
That
honor.
was, I mean, that
They almost have to, though.
yeah.
They have to, because Tobin James, to me, is the Paso Robles Wine
after
Alliance.
after we
He's the
said,
man.
well,
I
it's
love him.
about after we said, well, it's about time. Then we said, well, let's have a party.
Yeah,
And
let's get Tobin James on, because Toby's the best in the world. If you want great wine, Tobin James is the label, ladies and gentlemen.
go.
It's the great place to go tasting. It's got like 3 bars that
No
they
better
set
place-
up in
no
there.
better place in all the Paso
it is
Robles.
Great music. It is just a party at a winery. It's probably in my top
James
5.
gang.
It's one of the top 5 favorite wineries to go to for fun tasting.
Big
Tobin
ti-
James, welcome here to the show.
Yeah.
Hey, I love you guys, man. Thank you.
We love
Congratulations.
You know, it's been a kind of a magical week, you know, with the award. And, you know, I've made wine in Paso 30 years, and I remember 30 years ago going down to Los Angeles, go, hey, my name's Tobin James. I make wine in Paso Robles, and they'd say, oh, you've got a winery in Texas, huh?
Unbelievable.
And I go, no, that's El Paso. And
Dang.
now I bet there's nobody in Los Angeles that hasn't been to Paso Robles or hasn't had the wines from there or is planning to come up there. And it's just so exciting to see the whole transfer. There's other wine regions that people might think they make better wines, but they just got a head start on us.
Here's the thing: when you go, if you don't, you know, if you're coming, let's say you're on Interstate 5 and you're heading south from San Francisco, or you're heading north from Los Angeles, you get off of, what is that? The highway, is that 46 turnoff there? Is that right, Tobin?
Yeah, 46.
Highway 46. You take Highway 46 and you head to the coast. And as you're driving into the beautiful Paso Robles wine country, the first winery you're going to see on your left is Tobin James, and that's your first stop, maybe your only stop, because literally every time I've been there, and I'm not just saying this because you're on, the place is a happening party. There's always people in there. There's always people smiling. There's always great music, people having fun. It's an incredible tasting room, and it's an incredible wine experience, Tobin.
You know, Mike, once in a while somebody will be in there at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden they're back at 3. You're like, weren't you in here early? They go, yeah, but this is the funnest place.
I mean, Tobin's got great, first off, he's got great wines. Now, and I'm telling you about all of them, but for Super Bowl, a lot of people come over. A lot of the ladies like the whites, you know. I'm telling you, for the price, there is, and you mentioned this too, Paul Stern, there's not a better Sauvignon Blanc on the market, Tobin James, than your Tobin James Sauvignon Blanc. Tell us about that wine. Where do you source the grapes? Is it right there around the winery? Where do you get them?
Actually, you know what? We source those from Monterey County because it's a little cooler up there, and we don't want to burn off the all that beautiful fruit, that melon, and that is, you know, that is the perfect hors d'oeuvre and kind of a daytime wine.
It is perfect. I'm telling you, and it is. And I'm telling you, put a case aside for me right now because I'm out and I got to get some. And it is just my go-to Sauvignon Blanc. You know, people say, "Well, I don't like that Sauvignon Blanc. I don't like this one." Here's one you're never going to have any question of. It is just done well. And then, you know, you got Chardonnays, you got all these great wines, you got Cabernets, but let's talk about Zinfandels. You have about 8,000 Zinfandels. Literally, you got about, 10 or 12 of award-winning Zinfandels from amazing vineyards. You are the Zinfandel king. Tell us about the Zins.
Well, you know, a lot of it, some of our best ones stem from some of the oldest vines in Paso Robles, and basically back, there are vines that are literally 80 years old. They were some of the Italian settlers. That's what they liked, and that's what they grew up there, and a lot of that is propagated out, and it's just a wonderful. I tell people when you drink our Zinfandels, you close your eyes and you can see the history of Paso Robles. They just have so much character, and they blend really well. If you get a really earthy one with some raisiny flavors, and you add a vineyard that has a bunch of raspberry flavors, it's just a really cool blend.
I got to tell this story one more time, and I'll do it quickly. I'm at a wine dinner in Santa Barbara, and it was overflowed, and they sat our guests at the table outside the main wine room, and guests next to us are looking at all these wines they're pouring, and finally they said, "Let me taste that," and they said, "We want you to taste this wine," and it was a Zinfandel, and I'm a big Bialy Black Chicken fan. I like Morrison's, Rock Pile, and all these great Zins, and I went, "Hey, bring it on," I'm the Zinfandel guy, and they poured this Zinfandel. Unbelievable, and it was Tobin James Gang Reserve. Before I met Tobin, before I knew anything, the most incredible Zinfandel I had ever had, and then they said, "You can only get this as part of the wine club. It's only at the winery because it's limited." And that's how I met you, Tobin James, not face-to-face, but through your wine, and that's how good it is. Tell us about the James Gang Reserve Zin.
I'm surprised you said that because that's people. Everybody asks me, they go, "What is your favorite wine?" And I just tell them whatever we have most of in the warehouse. But it is the James Gang Reserve because it's got that perfect, just has that perfect spiciness that I like. It's a personal thing, but I think it just flies straight and level and very food friendly. A bottle of wine. It's a bottle of wine. That's almost like a meal.
It is like a meal, and you've got us to. Can you hang in with us, Tobin James, one more segment here?
Oh, you bet.
Yeah, Mike, we'd be remiss in our duties if we didn't tell the audience what kind of fun and hijinks might be going on over at the tasting room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. A lot of fun. We're going to talk about
very
the
remiss
tasting
in
room.
our duties.
I
If I
want
might
to
go
talk
ahead and
about
say
the
so.
other Zins, and I want to talk about Jesse James, possibly a relation to Tobin. We'll find out. We'll get the story straight ahead. This is the guy that's won the awards from Paso Robles, ladies and gentlemen. This is the wine personality of the year from the Paso Robles area. Tobin James with us on CRN. Stay with us.
For over 35 years, Lucas and Llewellyn's estate